Cool. Okay, yeah, and for me, I don't have an agency, but I, talk about content websites. I have a course where I, teach how to build a site, and I generally uh, believe that you're going to end up, at least at this point in time, with higher quality, probably better content if you either write it yourself, which is probably the best case scenario, or if you're hiring writers that are doing a good job. I know occasionally we hear like pushback, like, oh, if I hire a writer, they could also do a bad job. And that's true. I mean, if you go to a bad mechanic, you can have your car not get fixed. So that's not really a good comparison. And I think, like, we're going to get to some of the areas that I think you alluded to, Adam. There's probably some good use cases, but I think one of the issues that we all had, I know when I first tested some of the tools, the marketing materials are, well, they're marketing materials, right? So
Compelling, yeah.
they're selling the best case scenario to, probably the widest audience that they possibly can, and that made the expectations completely different than if they told the truth. And I'm not saying they should tell the truth in their marketing materials, but it would make it easier. So my expectation was, you put in, and probably a lot of people thought this in the past. You put in your keyword or your title, and then you get an article on the other side, however long you want it to be, formatted properly. I didn't have those grand expectations when I first tested this. And granted, this has been probably a couple years at this point, but I'm about to do a series of reviews on different tools. And basically, I just wanted like one paragraph, and it was still terrible. So again, this was an like older iteration, but basically, it was still gibberish with redundant sentences, and it just didn't make sense. And I was like, well, this isn't ready yet, and I've been ignoring it, and then talking about the same instance over and over again for